Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel it? It's Friday. Welcome, everybody. We've got journalist Farah Nasser joining the panel today. Welcome back, Farah. And we also have amazing comedian Leslie Liao joining us today as well. Hello. There we go. Okay, so let's kick it off with the first story. We are starting with the first ever American Pope. Okay? Well, Cardinal Robert Prevost, he is now known as Pope Leo XIV. He is leading 1.4 billion Catholics around the world, and a lot is being made of his nationality. Yes, first American Pope. Let's react to this. Big news. It broke while we were on the air yesterday.
Yeah.
So now we actually get to talk about it. What do we think?
It's very interesting because I had the same lukewarm feeling that you guys had, where I wasn't happy and I wasn't sad, but I was a little concerned. And the first American, and I was like, okay, how do we feel about this? Because it's not who anybody expected,
That's right.
No one thought that this was.
Horse,
no one thought that this was going to be the choice. And then a couple days ago, I know you guys saw the post that Donald Trump had of himself dressed as the Pope. And so my conspiracy theory brain was like, oh no, did Donald Trump know in advance that it was gonna be an American Pope? Is this Pope a Trump supporter? Are we gonna have another person who's in this camp who's just like inundating us with news? And then I actually, like a normal person, I watched the news. And I was like, oh, and then I learned about this person. And then I realized the reason why I had that feeling is because of this current administration in the US, anytime I now hear the word American, I go,
Oh, wait a second, hold on.
It's like a hot stove.
Hold on, Leslie is
No, it's okay. You don't have to,
American.
it's not an important detail.
No,
It's
you're
not an
not.
important detail.
You're not that type of American, right? You're the
But you
No,
are
I
type of
don't represent America.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify.
But you understand.
I understand.
Right?
I'm born and raised in Southern California, so from Americans, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry
You
for
sound like
our
your governor.
behavior.
You sound like your governor.
Yeah.
Do you feel more embarrassed now than you ever have to be American? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't
No,
like.
seriously, is it?
Yes,
because it's turned into this thing now, right?
Yes, because I understand that feeling. Now it's sad. The word American, you go, ooh, it's kind of like a food. You don't like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. So
and
the news
yeah.
of the Pope being American, what does that mean for you?
Well, I am an American who is not that religious, and I don't follow the news. I read headlines on Instagram. And
I like the honesty. I like the honesty.
That's a lot of people.
And then I read funny tweets about the news, and then I listen to podcasts, and then I write comedy. So I don't know a lot. I am American, and I know he's from Chicago, which is a place in America.
Yeah. Yes. She's not
So
wrong.
let's
Very
get over
good.
Chicago.
Very good.
Great
Pizza.
people in Chicago.
Yeah.
Great pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just, but I, even though I don't know a lot, I felt the same feeling when I saw American. I was like, oh no, people are gonna react to this.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
react.
The
and not
funny
react
thing
well.
is,
Yes.
the funny thing is though, I think the MAGA America is actually going to be pretty upset about this.
Yes.
So Steve
yeah.
Bannon, who you know is the architect behind the whole MAGA movement, right? He was actually warning people about this cardinal turned pope before even this happened. He said on Piers Morgan that he says that this is one of the dark horses. He's unfortunately one of the most progressive, and he's on the short list. So he was worried about this pope even before. So even though like maybe initially people are like, oh, he's American, I don't know if he's MAGA American.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
if
that's what I
Trump's gonna
learned.
be very
That's what I
happy.
learned when I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
watched the news, which calmed
Yeah.
me down, and I realized, why am I having that reaction? It's because America means something different
know.
today.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it was surprising because, like you said, he was not on the tops of lists when people were like, who was at the top of the list? A certain Filipino Cardinal Tagle.
Okay, wait, be honest. We were discussing this because we
Yes,
thought it was
we
going to be the
were.
Filipino guy, and I was like, I was prepared to see Melissa start running around the desk.
I was ready.
Screaming. I
Because
was
the
ready.
story, we were on the air,
Yeah.
and the Pope had been announced, the white smoke came out, and we were just starting the show, and I was
Yeah.
like, if it's a Filipino, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
And Filipinos felt that way because he was one of the front runners. He sings karaoke.
I love that, yeah.
Karaoke singing Pope.
Yeah.
Like, you know what the world needs now? That's what we need right now.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't him, even though that's who I was rooting for.
Yeah.
But I will say, after I got over my initial, oh my gosh, it's an American Pope, he came out onto the balcony yesterday and he said a word that made me feel like it's gonna be okay. If you liked Pope Francis and you thought, is this guy gonna follow? It made me feel okay.
Was it karaoke?
It was not karaoke.
Karaoke. Okay.
Although, if it was,
I mean,
girl, I don't know what I would have done. I would have like, yes. Pick a song, Whitney Houston, every time.
Yes.
But no, for me, it was synodality. Synodality, and what does that mean? It's a word that Pope Francis popularized, which is, where's the Catholic Church going to go? Well, let's talk about it. And over 3 years, he consulted with hundreds of people in the Vatican, out of the Vatican. He says, where's the place for the Catholic Church in the future? And this, now Pope, said synodality on that balcony yesterday, which made me feel like he's going to take what Francis started and hopefully he's going to take it over the finish line. So I'm very excited for this Pope.
Yeah, very excited.
Really excited for
Went
this
from
Pope.
concern to excitement once we got the background information.
Yeah,
So
and
now we feel
we'll
better.
see. I mean, President Trump hasn't said a lot yet, but we do know that this Pope is very much, he named himself Leo. He named himself after, a long line of Leos, like Leo XIII, who was all about migrant rights, worker rights.
Yeah.
He
That's
really
right.
supported trade unions.
Well,
so this is where this is going.
And this is it. Like he's more of a globalist pope than a nationalist pope. Like he sees clearly these kind of things, injustice and that kind of thing, more important than being a nationalist. So I think I don't know if all people in America are going to be very happy about this.
I think Americans are fine. I think Trump is the one who's not going to be fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, he likes the saying that Pope Francis used to say, which is, the shepherd should smell like the sheep. And that is what this Pope sounds like he's going to do.
Which is fabulous.
I'm ready for a smelly Pope. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Sorry, Mom. My mom.
A Mother's Day weekend, no
I
less,
know, seriously, Melissa.
Oh my
She knows
God.
what I mean. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mad Mummy in Moncton wrote to us with a dilemma. I like that music. All right, she says, my husband wants to go out during the day on Mother's Day. Wait, I'm going to be out with my mom and daughter for an early lunch, but we'll be back in the afternoon to now, I assume, an empty house. Is it fair for me to be annoyed by this? Would it bother you if your husband went out without you on Mother's Day?
One man in the audience who is saying no, not a problem.
Okay, ladies, what do you think?
This is a big problem. This is a big problem.
Okay.
You know what? You know why? Because I want to reverse the roles here. Could you imagine if I went to a spa on Father's Day and left my children with my husband? That would never happen in the history of the world.
But suppose he had plans with his family, because this is the whole point. This woman has plans with her mother and her daughter, so they already have a plan. So I hear a husband looking at the situation going, well, they made plans without me, so I'm gonna have the day free so then I can kind of...
No, he doesn't have the day free. He has 2 hours. You got 2 hours
Brunch
free.
is 2 hours.
Let's say they're out for a brunch, and let's say, okay, let's give them 3 hours.
Okay, but he has a few hours free because they already
Go
made
see your
plans.
own mom.
Sure.
Go see your own mom
Yeah.
for Mother's Day then.
Okay.
Clean
Here's
your
the thing.
house. Make me dinner.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm not the husband.
I don't think it's fair.
Well,
That's all.
the bottom line is the mother should do whatever she wants on that day. Like, full stop.
Okay.
Yeah, full stop.
When I read this, I thought, that sounds lovely, a day off from your husband. I mean, that sounds fantastic. Like, does she want to spend Mother's Day with your husband? I mean,
He is the
see, no
reason-
one's clapping. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not husband's day. Like, I think the mother should get to do whatever she wants. If that means having a spa day without her kids, Yes, she should do that.
Okay, so here-
If she wants to hang out with her kids,
Okay.
then yes, she
Yes.
should do that.
I think you
But-
point to a good thing, which is anybody who's planning anything, the conversation first starts with, honey, what do you want your
Yes.
day to look like?
And then you do that.
So I'm going to tell
Yes.
you why this guy probably didn't start with that.
Okay.
Because if you started with, honey, what do you want your day to look like? And then somehow it was in the conversation, because presuming they're good communicators, right? Okay, so you're going to be out for 2 or 3 hours, and then what would you like, honey? Because here's what I think could happen. She's going to come home after whatever she's doing in the morning. She's going to come home to an empty house, no husband. What is he doing? Like, let's say he's golfing.
That was my question.
Let's say he's
Yeah.
golfing. Golfing is not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours. The shortest is 4 hours.
Okay,
But
but wait,
probably
wait,
golfing
wait.
is
I have a
5
question.
Or 6 hour day.
Okay, so your spouse is only allowed to be out of the house as long as you're out of.
No, no,
Can I
no.
talk?
Yeah.
I'm trying to defend his husband and I can't even do it. So if you're gone
you
for
can't,
3 hours,
yeah.
he has to be gone for 3
No,
hours?
I'm talking just specifically a Mother's Day situation. Why? She comes back home. Like, imagine this for a second. She comes back home.
It better be to a clean
with her
home.
daughter. It better be. And you want to go out? If you're going to go out because I've already got plans, I want laundry done. I want garbage cans empty. I want toilets clean. I want
Yeah.
tonight's dinner
To be
'cause
taken
I
care
am
of.
not
Yes.
cooking
Yeah.
dinner on
Yes.
Mother's Day. I am
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I want dinner done, and then we can have a discussion. Because what if I came home and was like, oh my gosh, my husband's gonna be home. I can leave my daughter or son or whatever with my husband, and then I can actually go to the spa and do something or whatever I wanna do, right? The whole point is it's not Father's Day, it's Mother's Day. Do what mom wants.
Yeah.
Husbands, I tried.
It can't. It doesn't work.
I
I'm
tried
sorry.
and I couldn't.
I'm
I
sorry,
couldn't
it
do
doesn't
it.
work.
Sorry,
okay,
husbands, I tried.
We're gonna move on. Okay. To flight etiquette. Comedian Robby Hoffman sparked a debate when she shared a disagreement that she had with her wife, Gabby Windy, on a plane. Robby said she climbed over the sleeping passenger next to her to go to the washroom. But Gabby told her that she should have woken up the person and excused herself. So, Leslie, I'm going to start with you on this one.
I'm conflicted.
Would you wake up a sleeping part?
I'm conflicted. I travel a lot, so I am an aisle person for this reason. It breaks my heart to wake up someone sleeping. I just can't do it.
Okay.
On a plane, I'm a peer and a sleeper. Those are my passions.
Hopefully not at the same time.
I've worked it out so they do them separately, but I've trained my body for years. But so I can't wake anyone up. I can't wake up a stranger.
Okay.
If I was in Robbie's position, if I'm physically able to climb over without waking, I will do it.
Really?
If I can,
Okay.
but
I have so many questions.
I don't make enough money to fly the way I want to fly, so I physically there's no way in the seats I sit in.
I was to say, I'm like, what are you doing? Are you straddling frontwards or are you straddling backwards? Like, to me, I feel like it's all bad crawling over an adult. I feel like once you decide to pick that aisle seat, it also comes with the responsibility of knowing you're gonna have to get up when your seatmates have to get up and go to the bathroom. I'm waking you up because I don't want to straddle an adult. I will not do it. I will give you a light tap until you wake up and be like, sorry, but I have to go to the bathroom because you know
I'll
what
be
you signed
so
up
mad
for.
at you.
That's okay.
I would be so mad at you
I'm
because-
not gonna sit down and like, I'm gonna have my bladder about to burst so you can get a couple Z's. Sorry, honey, you're gonna get up.
Listen, it is so hard to sleep on a plane.
We're all having a hard time.
Just don't figure it out. Don't wake me up.
I'll tell you this much. I have sympathy for parents who have children, and the only person I'll crawl over is a sleeping baby, and that's also for me because I don't want your baby to wake up and start crying. So I will crawl over a sleeping child and be like, don't worry, I will get myself out of there.
What if it was me? What if it was
I'm
me?
waking you.
Oh,
You know
of
I'm
course,
waking you up.
Of course
I'm
she
waking
is.
you up like this. Laura, get up.
Yeah.
Straddle me,
I gotta
okay?
ask Leslie, because you said you're always an aisle person. So what happens then? Are you annoyed if you're sleeping and someone goes, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom?
I follow the rules of society. I sit in the aisle to avoid waking people up, but I accept the responsibility that as
Thank
the aisle
you.
person, I will get woken up, and I get up.
Thank you.
And I wake up with a smile on my face, like go pee queen, and I let them down the aisle, and I pretend to be fine with it, but inside I'm boiling with rage, which is what comes out in my stand-up at night. I bottle in the rage and I let it out on stage.
You know what we need
That's
to
what
do?
I-
We need
Let's all
to
fly together.
We should fly together.
Yeah.
We should normalize transparent and open communication on flights.
Okay.
Because I think if you have these conversations with your stranger seatmate and say, look, they're gonna come by with the food, I don't want any, you know, if sleeping is my priority this flight, I have to get to a meeting. Why can't we do that? Why can't we all
You know,
just
the only problem with that is for some people, they don't want to start talking with strangers. And I feel like for some people, if you start to open up a conversation,
Never shut up.
now you got the person talking to you.
But maybe you can say that too.
You know.
Also, I don't like to talk on planes, just so you know.
No, but
I think for me, I think
Save
for me
me
on
if
this,
anything goes
the
down.
minute you say that, they're like, oh, but I'm a talker, so don't worry about it.
So
No
with
way.
this is why I work out. And I would look at this like a challenge on American Ninja Warrior, okay? I love that I'm like,
No, Mel.
it's a challenge. So if I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta pee, I'm like, of course I don't wanna wake you up. It'd feel terrible waking you up. It's so hard to fall asleep on a plane. So I'd be like, okay. Start stretching, and I would get up and be like, okay, how am I going to ninja this so that I can get over you and not wake you up and then do it when I come back? I would be like, I would love this challenge.
No. What happens?
So
Okay,
much.
so here's the question. What happens if they wake up mid-straddle? What are you saying? You ninja'd, and now
Yes.
they're eye to eye with your private parts. What
Yes.
are we saying in that situation?
Like,
They're calling
I
for help.
don't know. I don't know if my private parts. I would try to avoid private parts to face.
you can't. There's no room.
There maybe could be.
There could be in the 80s with the flights, but now everything is.
It's really, really stuck
Yeah.
together. Yeah. Well, we've come up with no solution. It's what we've determined
Communication.
today.
Communication. That's what we need.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe communication. All right. We're going to continue to stay juicy here because a woman wrote to Pop Sugar for advice saying she's dating somebody who isn't her typical type, and she wants to know if that's going to matter in the long run. So, Leslie, dating your type. First of all, do you have a type, and what does this even mean? What is a type?
My type is man. Other than that, the perimeters are pretty loose. I would say I like a nice man. Like a man who answers my questions.
Okay.
So if we were to line up all of your exes, would they all
look alike?
Or
Physically, if you line up my exes, there is no rhyme or reason or pattern. It's all like nice man. So I go for like the spirit and the personality and the vibe, and I have fallen in love with someone after I got to know them and like gotten physically attracted to them after I got. So when I would say to this person, if you're asking about physical type, I would say grow up. I would say I'm not that wise yet, but if you want to be with this person forever, life is long, and once you get older, you don't even look at your partners. You're just looking, you know what I mean? You're looking at your coffee, you're looking at the paper, you forget what they look like, and everyone kind of looks the same as you get older, I think. And you want to be with someone you enjoy talking to, and that's something that it doesn't have a lot to do with your looks. I don't know.
what about you, Farah? Did you marry your type? I was at your wedding, so I'm asking a rhetorical question.
I don't have a type. I don't have a type.
Girl.
I don't have a type.
Girl.
What do you
Don't make me
mean?
do this to you on national television.
What?
You don't have a type?
You think I have a type?
You don't think you have a type?
Okay, what's my type?
Your husband is exactly your type.
She knows my exes, that's
I'm
why.
trying not to ruin anybody's marriage.
Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, so...
Because I saw you date somebody else before you met your husband, and I knew right away, I go, you're nice, but you're not her type. It's not gonna last. And was I wrong?
You know what? But he was my type in a way because to me, intelligence is what's so sexy.
Yeah.
And there's actually a name for this. It's called sapiophile. And I'm just really attracted. Like my husband now has been like my chat GPT since we got married.
Oh, I love that.
I'm like, honey, tell me about the Afghanistan opium economy and the ripple effects. And
How
he'd be like,
romantic.
do you mean geopolitically? Do you mean the economic effects of the world? I'm like, so hot.
But here's
Like,
the deal,
so sexy.
But then the other guy
Tell me
that you
more.
dated, we'll just call him Washington. Because we met him in Washington. We went on a trip in Washington.
Yep.
He was equally smart, but I just knew that he was not the full package your type. And so he was falling in love. The stars were coming out of his eyes, and I was like, brother, get over it. It's not gonna happen. You're not her type. So you do have a type, and you married your type.
Okay.
And Melissa,
fine.
I think you have a type too,
Oh,
girl.
girl.
Totally have a type.
Oh, yeah. Line them all up. It is quote. I say that, but of course I ended up with the best one. Just for the record.
Good answer.
What is my Listen, I'm gonna sound so shallow. Give me a nice set of abs. You got me.
Okay.
Is that all? No. Does that help? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm going to be very shallow for a second. I lead with my loins when I'm dating, and if I'm not physically attracted to somebody, and I am physically attracted to a type. But I feel like it is a mix of like, yes, I like what I like, first of all, but I do feel a spirit and a chemistry quickly. And when I've lined up all the men, and especially my husband is the best of the best. Why? Because, my type is Italian. First of all, it's Italian. But they are all family men. Family. And they all have had great, strong bonds with their family. I can pick that up real quick. I'm gonna ask you about your mom, I'm gonna ask about your dad, I'm gonna ask about relationships, and I'm very attracted to a family man. I love a man who's good with his hands, and they've all worked with their hands. I'm talking about the skilled trades. What are you talking about?
You started out talking about abs, ma'am. You started talking about abs.
But no,
I will just say to this woman, I have a type, but then I will date outside my type because it's too narrow just to date your type all the time. But I have thought about it when I'm dating outside of my type, that I'm like, you know what, you're a lovely person, but if my type walks in, baby, it is.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Yes,
I think
this is physically.
If you're already questioning like, oh, is this gonna work? You know what? Find your type. Find your type, because you're already thinking about it. So when that type walks in, it's gonna be a problem for you.
But maybe it's
be
a
like
physical
Farrah,
type always.
Dump Washington and find your type. That's what Farrah did. Happily married. How many years, Farrah? 16. 16 years married.
Yeah.
There you go. Find your type.
business.
I think it's okay to have a type. It's okay to have preferences. But some people, I wonder how old this person is, or listener. We're clearly on TV. I'm like, but when I was younger, I over-indexed on my physical type. You know, you lead with your eyes a little bit, and then I got older and had conversations with some of these men and said, no, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Leslie, everyone's like, well, what is she doing here from California? It's for a great reason. You are in town for Departure Festival's Comedy Showcase. And there's a few shows happening at Comedy Bar Danforth tonight and tomorrow. So you are going to be performing, and what can audiences expect with your stand-up?
I do talk about being a tired woman a lot, about being very sleepy, and I clap for the women that come to the shows because I understand that it's a lot to come out at nighttime. Yes, it's a lot. Like you're all day people, I can tell. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's hard to get out of bed at the nighttime. So I congratulate everyone individually in the audience, and then I do have a boyfriend, so I do talk about the contrast. I was single for a while, so I talk about single life and relationship life, and the message is like grass is greener, I think. But and then I sometimes accidentally yell, but that's just me letting out a lot of rage.
All right,
Rage,
okay.
you mentioned rage.
A lot of rage, but I make sure everyone has fun, so it's a fun.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
Send our regards to the Pope.
I will. I'll tell him you said hi.
Thanks, everybody.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.